started. I'm so real soon. You know, Big Willie be doing his things on Fridays. And I don't know what to say about Ken Street trying to take over my show on Wednesday, but that shit finna stop. Say, man, it is what it is. We in here with the Two Side Podcast. I am your boy Homestead Slim, and with
Speaker Brandon Gillespie.
Say, man, last week, man, we had a great show, and people was hitting me up all during the week.
Yes,
say,
sir.
man, tell me a little bit more about the show. Say, man, Slim, when did you turn so political? Slim, I didn't know you had a certain stance on that. And it was like questions that I'm good at an answer.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? At the same time, hey, y'all can just tune in, though. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all tune in and check it out. And I just want to say, I want to thank my brother right here. He's been like very 100. I just, you know, we use the word 100.
100.
He been like 100, man. Like, with, you know, the way he been carrying himself and the way he's like coming up with these topics. It's not me. It's my own. So tell me a little bit about yourself before we jump into the topic.
Oh man, once again, I just definitely appreciate the platform, Street 100, Homestead Slim Show, for giving us the opportunity to bring this to society in our communities of today, these conversations, these situations that we need to talk about, that we need to deal with, and we gotta handle. If no one else handles it in this manner, where it's transparent and where it's two sides. But myself, you know, community organizer, community activist, or what have you, minister, public announcer, speaker, just all around type of dude who got, you know, more trades than a train track. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna keep it groovy, we're gonna keep it smooth, and we're gonna enlighten the minds and keep it going.
That's right, that's right. So, today, what's the topic of today? Now, last week we had a very interesting topic.
Right.
And I did get a little flack back. Shouts out to all the women that hit my DM talking about, Slim, what are you talking about? We'll get back to y'all later. Y'all know who y'all are. So,
Yeah,
with that being said, well, what we hitting them back this week, though?
Man, this week, coming off of last week, with this week we're hitting them off with the state of education in our communities.
Right.
The state of education in our communities. Because we got to talk about it. We're in a different time right now, in a different society where the old school educators aren't around anymore. They've retired. So you're dealing with a lot of new school, new-minded individuals who just want to come get a check. That's just a little piece before we dive into it.
Okay, I mean, we can hit this from so many angles. We can start with the school system.
Yeah.
Or we can start with just black leaders in general.
In general.
We can talk about how the media persuades us to believe one thing is not another. We can talk about education, the lack of education in the school system.
Right.
I mean, we can go either way. We can start. I love this topic.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you know, don't crack to me. Where we gonna start at? Because I know where I was.
Well, I know many people will say, well, you know, it starts in the home. And it does.
It does.
It does. We talked about this one of our first episodes of Two Sides, where it has to be a good foundation in order to produce a good functional society offering. And when I mean offering, your children are the offering to society.
I agree.
Now that offering can be a negative to society, or your offering can be a positive to society, depending on how you raise it and how you prepare it to go outside your door. And it's the same way when you send them to school. How they gonna treat, you know, the teachers? How they gonna treat their peers? Are they gonna be leaders, or are they gonna be followers? So yes, it definitely starts in the home, but most importantly, just with any other profession, we want to make sure those who have a genuine love for the profession to not just go there and to do what they're supposed to do and lead, but also go there to enlighten the minds of the youth and prepare them for today.
I truly agree with that statement, but I do want to say that, let's just say it doesn't start with that particular person or that particular teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just start at the top with the curriculum, with the people, because they are forced to. A teacher can't go in there and say, well, I'm looking at these 30 students and saying, well, hey, I need to teach them this. They have to follow.
Yeah.
Is that who is setting that bar, and does it start there? Let's just start.
Yeah, I mean, when your curriculum, your whole layout for the year comes from Austin.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Austin, I believe they call them TEKS, or whatever they call them, that these teachers have to go by, and it has to go in that order. I mean, you can alter it as little as you can, but you still have to stay according to the curriculum that's coming from Austin.
I agree.
But despite what the despite what the curriculum may be, if it's not in you to help modify, to get everyone to learn it and to retain it, then you're just going to be reading a sheet of paper and going along, you know what I'm saying? Because in the days of old, we had true educators who will be able to identify your lack, what's keeping you from retaining the information.
I agree.
So when they are able to identify it, then they can go, okay, I need to present this information to you this way. Because if I present it to you like I'm presenting it to A and B, you're not going to get it. So I need to present it to you in a way, a manner that you'll be able to retain it. And that's what we're missing in a lot of these institutions of today.
I totally agree with you, but I also want to say that the North Forest School District that's, went under, shouts out to Sheila Jackson. With that being said, on your watch. With that being said, is that, man, a lot of our students that are graduating from our local schools in our community are not prepared to even go to college. They're not being prepared to go to college. Some of our students are not prepared to go from elementary to middle school and from middle school to high school.
Right.
Like, I believe those are problems that need to be fixed. Is it a curriculum problem? Is it a parent-teacher conference problem? Or is it just an overall problem that we have in our community?
Well,
from the curriculum from our
definitely overall. Not everyone is college bound, and I like to enlighten as well as give kudos to a principal out there in Humble who knows this and sets up different other alternatives within his high school to prepare students, whether if it's barber college, whether if it's different trades or different things. I mean, because you need to have a skill, especially in society today. Not everyone is going to be trained to work for somebody. And with that mindset, you have to be able to teach the upcoming youth of today that you need to possess a skill. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to, whether if it's carpentry, electrician, havoc, systems, or automotive, something that way when society pauses as it did with COVID, you will be able to make money still because there will always be a need for your particular skill. And that's what we have to continue to implement in institutions of today.
That's what I'm saying, but when I was going to school, we had shouts out to Mr. Carl. Like I learned how to cut wood. We don't have those curriculums. It's not a place in school where you can learn about it. Religion is something simple.
Right.
It's not electrician class in the high school. It's not even a coding class in the high school. Even when I was going to school, they used to have like a homemaking class. We learn how to, you know what I'm saying? These are skills that's not being taught in our school system. So do you think the school system and these curriculums are failing us as a whole?
I mean, it just depends what school district and system you're in. I mean, because I've been around and some of these well put together, well off institutions have that. But when it comes to our particular communities, we are lacking those particular resources where they're desperately needed. You may see one or two with it, but the majority are still lacking those particular woodshop classes, those on-job training classes. And you know what I'm saying, like I said, back to the high school that I was speaking about out there in Humble, they had a job fair for the students, you know what I'm saying, especially for the juniors and the seniors that are leaving. Because again, college may not be your walk into society. So if you present, a job fair situation where they can learn these different skills and build from that, that's always a plus as well.
I agree, but I believe that's like our issue like you said, a lot of these kids are not prepared for college, and when they get out of high school, even if it's not college, you have to take a trade from somewhere. So are we preparing them for that? You know what I'm saying? And that's, I think that's like the issue. As far as even when they graduate from high school, they're not even prepared to go to an electrician class. They're not prepared to even go to some of these classes that we're speaking on. So with that being said, where and how do we fix this problem, in your opinion? Because I'll give you one.
That starts with the individual who's overseeing the students. You know what I'm saying? There's a great educator by the name of Jane Elliott said this. There's a difference between a teacher and an educator.
Right.
I believe everyone can teach. Anybody in this room can teach.
Right.
Slim, you can teach anybody how to work these boards, how to, the mic and everything. There's a teaching skill to be had. Anybody can give you a piece of paper and say, teach this. You know what I'm saying? Court, if they lay out the procedures and everything. But a true educator who's had the love of building and fixing not just things but people when they see something wrong. A true educator has the ability to identify, like I said earlier, the negative in you, the lack in you that's keeping you from learning certain things. That way they can identify that, and they have the educational mindset to, okay, this is what I'm going to put together to help you grow. So without these educators present in our institutions, that's why we have so many just go do what I'm supposed to do and leave teachers. That's the difference between a teacher and a true educator. Not everybody's an educator, you know what I'm saying? But we have a influx of teachers who are just there to be there. Same thing with any profession. Like I said, you have in the police field, you have many who just it was a quick check and something I can do to make some good money, good retirement. But my heart is not in policing the community and uplifting the community and fixing this community. I'm just here to get paid, make sure you don't do what make sure you in line and you don't do nothing wrong, you know what I'm saying, and go home.
Okay, but that being said, I'm a fair guy. And I look at, I try to look at both sides of the equation, rather if it includes me or not. I feel like I'm a fair guy.
Right.
I would say, maybe if my percentage is wrong, y'all tell. But I believe that 60% of the teachers that are at these schools are scared of the students.
Right.
So I think they want to do their job and get out of there as fast as they can, because they know at any point in time this student could blow up on them and they could lose their job if they say anything out of line to the student. I believe it's like a fear.
Okay.
And I also
Slim says fear, y'all. They don't want to teach.
I mean,
It's fear and funding.
Yeah, that too. You know, so that's just some of the reason why I would say why some of these teachers just might say, I'm finna go teach second, third, fourth, fifth period, and I'm finna get up out of here.
Yeah.
Because I know that these kids are not well taught at home. It could actually cause me to lose my job. You see some of these Instagrams. And these kids are beating up these teachers. They're cussing them out. They're doing all kinds of things. And there's nothing they can do to the child but suspend him for 3 days. And he's right back in that class.
The same class with the same teacher.
Right.
But again, Ms. B, you add into this too. Again, a true educator will know how to capture the minds of the lost.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? A teacher is gonna lack that because again, if I'm not trained for it, or again, my mindset is just to get paid. I got a good retirement, some good benefits. You know what I'm saying? And once you start tripping out, kid, now you're hindering my money. You know what I'm saying? Now I got an attitude. Now I really don't want to teach it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it depends if the individual, I'm telling you, if the individual really has myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
No educational background, but I was able, God opened the door in Forest Brook Middle School a couple of years back. I was able to teach a class for a couple of days.
That was great.
You know what I'm saying?
Them kids over there bad. I graduated from Forest Brook High School.
They turned it into it. We know they turned it
Shouts
into
out
a
to
middle
Sheila Jackson
school.
Lee for that.
You know what I'm saying? They had to turn it into a middle school for the same type of reasons, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I was able to go in there, and the kids all over the place are our kids, and we know how our kids at in that particular area. You know
Shouts
what
out
I'm
to
saying?
Crofton and Swiss Village.
Yeah, you know, hey. But coming with the type of mindset I had, I was able to capture their minds. You know what I'm saying? And develop whatever I developed to keep them engaged. You know what I'm saying? If you can keep them engaged, then you start building a relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? To understand their life, their situation. You may not be able to save them from anything, but you can sure recommend a comfort place and remind them that this is a comfort zone for you and I'm here for you. But if you can't do that, if that's not in you, then you're going to continue to have what we talked about previously. You're going to have young crash dummies just bouncing all over the place, and you won't be able to control them.
First of all, I would like to say the dropout rate is at an all-time high.
Definitely.
Secondly, I would like to say that we don't have enough good teachers or teachers, period.
Right.
If you go to an average class at Florida Middle School, it's 35 students per teacher.
Right.
I believe I believe that's a big issue as well, and I believe that the teachers are not being paid what they're supposed to be paid. So with the lack of them being underpaid,
Right.
the fact that they have to teach 35 students with maybe 4 clowns in the class in each class,
Yeah.
and the fact that these students are unprepared coming from home,
Mm-hmm.
already with the mindset to say, well, you know, I'm gonna go to first, second, third. I ain't worried about lunch. I'm gonna skip school to go do this. With that mind state, I think that has a lot to do with our problem as far as pinpointing one thing. Like, I feel like it's a whole genre of things that putting together to make this problem the big problem that it is.
Definitely. I mean, and it will continue to be a problem if we don't have enough individuals to stand up and to make that stand. You know what I'm saying? I believe whoever the superintendent is need to go on a tour just to ask his employees, are you educators or are you teachers?
Right.
Do you really want to be here? I mean, do you really want to be here? I believe they should ask that. And in all professions, do you really want to be a doctor? Do you really want to be a nurse? Or are you just here because you've seen it a quick way to get some money? We got all types of people in places they don't need to be. You know what I'm saying? No matter what the profession is. There's people in the Army, in the Navy right now that don't need to be there. They not built for war.
No.
You know, you built to pass out meals. You know what I'm saying? You built to do this and that. But you wasn't raised climbing trees, playing, war tactics and dressing up and digging in the mud and all this type of stuff. I know cats like that, black and white. But them the type of cats was born for that, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
But if you're going to get a check, you're liable to get shot, you know what I'm saying? Because you're just not built for that particular lifestyle, you know?
I truly agree. I really believe that the problem starts on top in Austin with the curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that in black schools, our black people should be taught more. I believe there was a problem when they took the prayer out of school.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like our lunch program is not up to par. Our busing is not up to par. Our students who actually bring money back into the school as far as our football team and our basketball team equipment is not up to par. I also believe that it's a section in the city to where some schools get Apple laptop computers and some schools get no computers.
Right.
I'm also aware of the fact that there's a high pay scale at different school districts in the state of Texas. I mean, you could be in a zone A, teacher might make $47,000 a year, and right in the next zone, this teacher here is making $63,000 a year. When I feel like it should already be a balance across the board.
True.
I also feel like if your child drops out of school, I think the parents should be held liable for that child that's not going to school and should pay some kind of penalty. But that being said, I also feel like a child that graduates from high school should be given or awarded something toward their futures instead of a piece of paper that you can go lay in and say, these are Homestead Slim thoughts. Not saying I can change the world, but this is what I think.
Yeah.
I think every student that wants to go to college, kind of like in the UK or Germany, the state and the country pays for that child to go to school.
At least community
If
college.
you're gonna be our doctor, why not pay for it?
Right. So these are things that I feel would help. But it's gonna take a lot of us doing a lot of bus rides and a lot of picnic and a lot of things like that. And as a community, as you say, we not built like that to start that fight.
Right.
We have to. We can't be chucking and jiving and talking and not going to the board meetings and not saying, like you mentioned about the lunches. Now, some lunches in some schools are up to par.
Up to par.
But in some other schools, you get nachos every day
I think I see
With a-
red beans and rice on my
with a side of apples, you know what I'm saying, and some milk.
Right.
But until someone or a couple of people go to these board meetings and demand a good nutritional, balanced lunch consistently and rotated, it just won't change. you
Our
know?
school buses don't even have seatbelts.
No.
Some of them do. Some schools.
Some of them do. And
This is what I'm saying.
yeah, that's true. But you know what I'm
Should it be the
saying?
parents going to go to these meetings, or should it be the teachers going to these?
I believe it should be a little
All
bit of both,
above.
but I really believe that in each neighborhood you have a community of people that protects the neighborhood. I believe each neighborhood should have a speaker. I think the Fofo should have a speaker. I believe Fifth Ward should have a speaker.
Right.
And he comes to the community once a week or once every
Check
2 weeks.
in.
He gets the info from his community. He gets with the Fifth Ward
Right,
leader.
right.
He gets with the Shady Timbers, the Northwood Manor, and they go.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what
You
I
gotta
believe.
get
That's
some
these
people
are
with some type of
homesteads.
power, some
These
type
are
of-
homesteads.
Yeah.
Not saying, but this is what I see that would probably make a change. And like I say, I feel like every parent should be liable for their child, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if your child is missing school, he's dropping out of school, you should get a letter in the mail and saying, look, you owe the school system this amount of money because we paying for him to be there and he not there.
Yeah. And they do send. Some of them do send out those
The
letters.
truancy people, they
Right.
use
Yeah,
them, but not
they
as
do.
often.
They do send them out, but like you said, in the household, if you have a lack in the household,
Right.
if the parents are not as efficient and don't really care,
Right.
and in their own world of living, then again, like we spoke about, you are now producing another humanoid into society that's gonna be a crash dummy, and that's gonna be, in my way,
Right.
and in our kids' way. You know what I'm saying?
I also believe that the pass no play rule needs to be updated. I believe to play in sports in high school, you need to maintain a C average. Nothing under 75. I mean, no D's should be allowed.
Where is that right now?
He's at 70. You can
Is
make
that
a 70 in play. You can make a. I believe you
Now,
should.
if I was playing ball, 70 is a C or
No,
70
not a D.
a 70 a D now?
70 is a D.
70 is a D now.
69 is the F.
Right.
I believe
Right,
you
that
should.
part.
I believe you should make nothing
I'll
less than
be a
70.
good student today.
You should make no less than 76 to be able to play. You should never
Yeah.
be able to, because
And not accept their minimum anyway.
right. With
Right.
that being said, it's like for you to go to college, they're not accepting that.
Right.
So why should we accept it at the high school level?
Right.
True.
That's the only way to prepare them is actually get them really close to what they're going to be expected in the next round.
They already unprepared when they go. I mean, like
Yeah.
even when I went to college, I graduated Forestbrook High School.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to Texas Southern trying to play ball, and when I got to class, I was like, "What the hell is
What
this?"
is this?
Like I had to be taught. I wasn't even taught that. Like I wasn't even.
You had to be reconstructed.
You're right, bro. And I believe that's a major problem.
You had to be reconstructed. But like you say, with the sports thing, that could just be set up to where, okay, this is all I see in your future type of thing.
Right.
So I'm gonna make it to where this is just geared to you, because I don't see you doing nothing else but bouncing that ball or throwing that ball. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta get out of that placement
But
too.
the thing about that is.
But we gotta want to get out of it.
Right. The thing I teach my son is that, look, bro, I don't care if you make it to the NBA or I don't make it if you make it to play professional ball. You're talented enough to go to college with this skill. So basically, that's what I'm saying. Look, if he has a skill to be able to play basketball at a collegiate level, then he should be awarded that.
Right.
And not saying, well, you don't get a scholarship or you're not accepted to this college. They not accepting you with these. So don't let him play in high school with these.
Right. That's true. That's true. But we gotta make the stand to change that too. That come from, like you say, small administrative organizations such as ourselves,
Right.
From these different communities, like you pointed out,
Right.
formulating together and voicing their opinions and their points in order to make that change. But if people can jump 10, 20 deep just to go to the R&B fest or the festival
South by
that's coming up,
Southwest. Oh yeah.
yeah, you get about 5 people to ride in the same car for that. But I can't get 5 to 10 people to ride to City Hall
Save our future.
and prepare for the future. Something is desperately wrong with the mindset. Desperately wrong with the mindset. You know what I'm saying?
If you, I'm not just being biased, if you go to a community event in River Oaks, 90% of the miles are beer.
Yeah.
If you go to a community event,
Bruh, I was the only mom in there.
see what I'm saying?
I was in there
So
like
it starts at so many levels
Yeah.
for us to conquer this problem. It starts at so many, it's so many.
You're right. You gotta want to be involved. You gotta want it. It's the same thing with going back to the difference between teacher and educator. If you're not a true person who want to see the benefit in society grow because you know your family, your household is a part of that same society, if it's not in you to help it grow, you're going to continue to go through life for self.
Right.
So you're not going to go to those meetings. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to pick up the phone and complain and this and that. We need to pick up the phone and complain. You pay the same amount of taxes
no matter what.
as everyone else, no matter what. You should be complaining. In this part of my life right now, I'm complaining about everything.
You know, right to.
I'm calling police on everybody because of the taxes I pay. I don't care if you call me this and that. I'm make sure everybody do their job because every time at the end of the year I got to get this bill. And I don't feel comfortable paying this no more if I know ain't nobody did no work all year. I got to make sure I call the fire department for something. I'm calling, even if it's just a check, I'm calling you just to do something. Because it's too much money going
I
on.
seen a cat in the tree.
That's something.
Right.
Oh, he left his lawnmower out and too long. Can you please check on this? I need you to do something.
Yeah.
I needed to add up to this
I truly agree with
tax
you.
bill. Yeah.
I do believe me and you need to be calling more brothers like us to come to the community, solve some of these problems for ourselves. I do believe. Let's take incident family. Let's just take this out.
Yeah.
Had their own busing system.
True.
Had their own school.
True.
If it was a drug dealer on the corner
Yeah.
and a Panther drug, and look, they had people patrolling the neighborhood. Watching for
Exactly.
crime.
Exactly.
If he saw you on that corner, them Panthers beat you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we need to get back to. And we don't have to call.
Community justice.
We don't have
Yeah.
to call Officer John Doe. And they didn't have
They
to do
don't
none of
they
that.
don't care. They probably come to kill us
That's right.
anyway.
When they got out of school, they had their own programs. So why can't we do? They did this in the system. Why can't we do that?
Because they keep us separated. That's what that pandemic was for, to keep everybody separated for real.
I mean, are you listening?
Man, did y'all hear that?
Yes, they keeping us separated, but
We keeping ourselves
these
separated.
crash dummies of today want to do what they want to do.
They
That's
keep
what
it
they have in the
ourselves.
house on the computers, looking up
Even
stuff, YouTube,
before
TikTok.
that, Miss B, even before that. Now, Slim say Panthers. See, I'm coming in a model Luther Van Martin Luther King tone now.
I'm more like Malcolm X, man.
But
Oh,
yeah,
definitely on that.
but in the next couple of days, it's gonna turn Malcolm and by any means necessary. When
Right.
I'm gonna start calling names out Machiavelli style.
Yeah.
You know, I see you throwing your events.
Oh.
I see you doing this and that.
Right.
But I don't see nobody at the school boards like the late brother Monroe, Jerry Monroe, who
Hey,
who will always be there.
Now you know Gary Monroe had a show at Street 100.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
yeah.
And he went after Dr. Candace Matthews on a lot of things.
What?
Yeah. That's what they had it.
You heard it here on two sides. Shout out to Jerry, you know what I'm saying, long live
Monroe.
Jerry Monroe and his
What up?
family, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know that?
I didn't know, but Slim has
Slim know it all,
educated
though.
me.
Yeah, he was in it. He got Monroe.
Because Monroe will be there, live in effect, whether it was 1 deep, 2 deep, and
He had a crazy show on Street 100. It was called War Zone.
Hmm.
Go on the Facebook, Street 100 the Heat Facebook, and you will see some of those episodes. And you can go, as a matter of fact, go check out this YouTube. Gary Monroe, the War Zone on YouTube. Y'all go check
him
that
out,
out.
check
Y'all
him
gonna see
out.
him right in this setting. And he talking about a lot of these community leaders that have popped up today since he died. Oh, he was on their neck.
Now they active.
heavily
That's
active.
why they leave Slim alone, because they know Slim.
Slim got the juice, baby.
Slim got the juice.
Slim got the juice.
Two
Yeah.
sides. Ooh, we get to hear both sides.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you.
We got a few more minutes for 8 o'clock. So, doctor. I mean, can I call you doctor?
I'll take it.
Can I call? Cause you everything
I
else.
gotta get a name.
No,
Said he's
Mr.
hard
Mr.
anyway.
Brandon.
He's
Yeah, that's why I was kind of throwing that out there like that.
Everybody else walk around being a doctor.
Why not?
See, and that's another thing.
Y'all need to give me an honorary.
They passing out a lot of these fake doctorate degrees right here. They passing them out.
I
Yeah.
have to get out this.
But ain't
They
baptized,
passing
no
out a lot of these
God
fake doctorate degrees right
Are you
here.
gonna give me one? Where's that? Walmart?
Then y'all got people teaching classes at
Man,
Rice and stuff, but
I'm just
it ain't
saying though.
my business.
I'm just saying though. So with that being said,
7:30.
we got a few more minutes before we, 2 minutes before we get up out of here. We're gonna come with the next show.
Telling you,
You know,
two sides.
two sides. Tell them who you is.
Speaker Brandon Gillespie,
I'm
aka Machiavelli, the young Don.
You heard it.
Uh-oh, it's coming.
I'm
It's coming.
Homestead Slim, and I don't have no extra names, but y'all know what I stand and what I represent. I bet you that. And that's what was right. And like you said, man, if you out here doing what's wrong, hey man, we gonna get you up out our way. It's just what it is. And we actually building a team of strong, young black men with the same mindset to make sure that we get this message across. Yeah, it's a radio show, and yeah, you hear what I'm saying. And another thing I want to tell y'all too. This will be the last week that it'll only just be on Street 100 Radio. Next week our show will be on Apple. It'll be on Spotify. It'll be on all major streaming platforms. Ain't that? Put my hand on that. That's something I wanted to tell you. But I can tell you live on air that we're gonna take it to another notch and things like that with that level. With that being said, man, I guess we'll check back in. You know anything else that we got?
We'll check back with you in a minute, man.
We'll be back with y'all next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Make sure y'all tune in. It's your boy Homestead
Salute,
Slim.
salute.